Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to another powerful episode of Meghan and Harry Tales, the space where truth lives and royal lies are exposed. Today's story? Oh, it's not just scandalous, it's chilling. It's about a father who claims he has no power while quietly wielding it like a sword. That father, King Charles III, that target, his own son, Prince Harry, and the cost, security, safety, and potentially Harry's life. Let's break it down together because this latest cover story from Us Weekly confirms what many of us already knew. King Charles refuses to stop lying about the Sussexes' security. So grab your tea because this episode is one the palace definitely doesn't want you to hear. The year is 2025, a year that marks a significant turning point in the annals of the British monarchy. Behind the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, a different drama unfolds, a drama that is far removed from the pomp and pageantry the world is accustomed to. This is a story of power, family, and a father's shocking choices. Choices that have sent ripples through the very fabric of the royal institution. Prince Harry, once a beloved royal, now finds himself estranged from his own blood. His journey from a cherished prince to an outsider is both heart-wrenching and complex. The reason? A threat to his family's safety. A threat that has cast a long shadow over his life and the lives of those he holds dear. A threat King Charles seems content to ignore. His apparent indifference has only deepened the rift within the family. Harry's departure from royal duties was meant to offer his family a life free from constant scrutiny, a chance to breathe away from the relentless gaze of the media. But the dangers of his past, the threats to his present, followed him across the ocean. The spectre of danger loomed large no matter where he went. He sought the security he deserved, the security any father would demand for his wife and children. A basic right that seemed increasingly out of reach. What he received was silence. Worse, he encountered denials. The very institution meant to protect him turned a blind eye. This isn't a tale of royal privilege gone awry. It's a deeper, more poignant narrative. It's a story of a father's duty seemingly forgotten. A duty that should transcend titles and crowns. A king, it appears, more concerned with image than the safety of his own son. The weight of the crown overshadowing the bonds of family. The palace walls whisper of betrayal, of a family fractured by deceit. The echoes of discord reverberate through the hallowed halls. The world watches, captivated by the unfolding drama, a drama that has captured the imagination of millions. But this is not a play. This is not a scripted performance. This is the reality of a family torn apart, with the lives of innocent children hanging in the balance. A poignant reminder of the human cost behind the royal facade. Headlines scream of legal battles, of Harry's desperate fight for protection. People magazine, a chronicler of the human experience, details the prince's struggle. He is no longer willing to accept silence. He will not gamble with the lives of his loved ones. The British Home Office, responsible for matters of national security, has become the battleground. Harry's legal team argues for the protection he believes is rightfully his. They cite threats both credible and chilling. The response? A cold dismissal, a bureaucratic wall erected to deflect and deny. The world looks on astonished. How can a prince, a son of the king, be denied basic security? How can a father be left vulnerable, his pleas for help ignored? The answer, it seems, lies in the heart of the monarchy itself. Us Weekly, known for its bold reporting, drops a bombshell. King Charles, they claim, is lying. He portrays himself as powerless, unable to intervene in matters of Harry's security. But sources whisper a different story. Sources suggest the king holds more control than he admits. The king's narrative unravels. His carefully constructed facade of helplessness crumbles under scrutiny. The world begins to see the strings, the manipulations of a monarch determined to maintain control. The question arises, what is Charles hiding? Why maintain this charade of powerlessness? Is he truly unable to help his son, or is he unwilling? The answer, it seems, lies in the complex and often ruthless dynamics of the royal family itself. Section 4. Palace walls, Ravec and the illusion of independence. Buckingham Palace, in its usual fashion, issues denials. They point to the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, often referred to as RAVEC, claiming they hold the power over security decisions. Ravek, they argue, is independent, their decisions free from royal influence. But is Ravek truly independent? Or is it another layer of the palace facade, a carefully constructed illusion of separation? Critics point to the committee's composition, to the ties that bind them to the crown. The palace walls, once symbols of strength and tradition, now feel like instruments of deception. They protect not just the royals within, but also their secrets, their manipulations, their cold calculations. Section 5. The King's Will, Power and the Price of Silence. Charles, as Prince of Wales, held significant influence. His presence was felt in every corner of the realm, and his words often shaped the course of events. He commanded attention, his voice carrying weight in the halls of power. His speeches were not just words, they were declarations that resonated with authority. Now, as king, his power is absolute. The transition from prince to king has only solidified his control and influence over the monarchy and the nation. To believe he is helpless in this situation stretches credulity. His every move is calculated, his every decision deliberate. The evidence points to a different narrative. Charles is choosing not to intervene. His silence is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic choice. He is prioritizing the image of the monarchy over the safety of his own son. The preservation of the royal image takes precedence over personal relationships. He is playing a dangerous game, one where power trumps family, and silence is the weapon of choice. This Game of Thrones is fraught with peril, and the stakes are incredibly high. The world sees a king wielding his power not to protect, but to punish. His actions speak louder than words, revealing a monarch who values control over compassion. He punishes Harry for daring to step out of line, for daring to forge his own path. Harry's defiance is met with a cold, calculated response, and the price of that punishment, the safety and well-being of his own grandchildren. The future of the royal family hangs in the balance as personal vendettas overshadow familial bonds. Section 6. The Queen's Legacy, a stark contrast in protection. The reign of Queen Elizabeth II serves as a stark contrast. The Queen understood the importance of family, of protecting her own. Under her watch, security was never a question, never a bargaining chip. The Queen's love for her grandson was evident, her concern for his well-being paramount. She recognized the threats he faced, the dangers inherent in his position. Her response was swift, decisive, and unwavering. She ensured his protection without hesitation, without complaint. The current king's actions stand in stark contrast to the Queen's legacy. Where she offered unwavering support, he offers silence. Where she provided protection, he provides platitudes. The difference is not just in their actions, but in their values. Section 7. A father's duty, a king's choice, the stakes and the silence. In the grand halls of power, decisions are made that ripple through generations. The stakes could not be higher. This is a moment that transcends the usual pomp and circumstance of royal life. This is not a game of royal intrigue. It is a matter of life and death, of safety and security for those who are most vulnerable. This is about the safety of a family, the lives of children, the innocent faces that look up to their parents for protection and love. Harry's pleas for protection are not those of a petulant prince. They are the heartfelt cries of a father who fears for the well-being of his loved ones. They are the desperate cries of a father fearing for his loved ones. A father who knows the dangers that lurk in the shadows. The world watches, waiting to see if Charles will finally act, if he will finally choose family over facade. The weight of the crown is heavy, but the weight of a father's love is heavier. Will he embrace the legacy of his mother, or will he continue down this path of silence and deceit? The legacy of Queen Elizabeth II is one of duty and compassion. The answers to these questions will not be found in palace communiques or carefully worded denials. They will be found in the actions taken, in the choices made when no one is watching. They will be found in the choices Charles makes, in the actions he takes or fails to take. The world is watching, and history will judge. The world is watching, waiting and hoping that humanity, compassion and a father's love will ultimately prevail. In the end, it is not the crown that defines a king, but the choices he makes for those he loves. King Charles does have power, he just refuses to use it. And while the press and palace continue their charade, we'll be here, unmasking the lies, standing up for justice and supporting Harry and Meghan every step of the way. If you're tired of the gaslighting and the cover-ups, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep the conversation going, and let's keep calling out the hypocrisy, because the truth matters. And so do the Sussexes. I'm your host, Adrian, and this has been another unapologetically bold episode of Meghan and Harry Tales. Until next time.